Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, for most of you know me, my name is Kate Turner, and I will be orchestrating today for others. I'm just a fill-in person here. I am a retired local pastor from Methodist Church, Methodist denomination, United Methodist. You have to say that nowadays because now there's about 50 million different kinds. They've split off and splintered, and I cannot tell you how happy I am that I've spent the last 2 years living here. Problem with the mic?
Yeah. It's bubbling.
It's bubbling.
I have no problem protecting. I don't need no stinking mic. They insist I use the mic, but I really can project. It's crazy. We've had a lot of trouble with these things lately. And this one. Did I tell you about the show that's coming out? Sex Please for 60?
Pretty good.
Can you better than that? Oh, Lord, forgive me. What was I saying? Oh, yes, I was saying I cannot tell you how happy I am that I have been at Unity Church for 2 years now. Because this church is all about positivity. This church is a practical and progressive approach to spiritual growth. And it's rooted in the teachings of the Bible, the teachings of Jesus, and that's what I love so much about it, because after years of study and preaching, having my own congregation for well over 9 years, it's important to me that it's based on Jesus' teaching and positive thinking. And I think we need that in the world now, more maybe than ever before.
Amen.
So I am so pleased to be here today, and I'm so pleased all of you are here today. And I will be honest with you, I worry a little bit because our attendance is not as high as I think it has been in the past.
Yeah.
The board, I want you to know, is thinking about this very seriously. And we are aware of it, and we're striving to figure out what it could be the problem. Is it the time? Is it, what's the problem? And so when you get a survey or you're asked for your opinion about the time of the service or about a Sunday or whatever, please know that we really want to hear from you. Don't just say, oh, whatever you decide is fine with me, because we can't decide unless you tell us. So that's my pitch from the board. We really do need to know how you feel about things. If you like what's going on at services, great, tell us. But if there's something you don't like, please tell us, because there's nothing we can do to change it or make it better without your input. Okay? So thank you for being here. We're going to open our song. Our opening song will be led by Diana Perez. Our music today by Diana. We all love and cherish her.
Thank you.
And so she's going to do our first song for us.
And I have to tell you guys, I haven't lost my mind. I know I'm a little dressed up and a little bit of extra makeup today, but I am going to the Jazz Festival and I'm singing today. And I'm going there right after this, so a little short on time. If you know this song, sing with me, please. Okay. Testing.
Day by day that we have any newcomers. But I don't recognize you right off. But are you a newcomer today? Or you've been here before, haven't
I've
you?
been here before, yeah.
That's what I
And I
thought.
used to belong to the one in Mesa when I lived in Mesa.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought I'd
Yeah,
seen you,
that's
but
where,
you
that's where I learned about this one here.
Okay.
Because of Yaya, when they used to come
The
over
Yaya,
and sing.
yeah.
And then I moved down the road, just on Ridge Road, so. But I do have some ideas in terms of how you might promote the church more, so
Excellent.
maybe I'll talk with you afterwards and come to one of the board meetings.
Sounds good. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You were really listening.
I'm so excited, it's supposed to be here, right?
When is the next board meeting, just for those?
Next Sunday. Next Sunday is board meeting, and it will, I believe, still remain here for the time being, so we'll have it here. Now, Barbara, you have a friend here with you?
Oh.
No? That's a stranger sitting next to you that you brought in with you?
Followed her in.
Oh, you know, it happens.
This is my niece.
Your niece? Oh, well, nice. From New Jersey. All right. Well, welcome. We're happy to have you, and we actually have a blessing just for you. Let's say it all together, shall we? We love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. Thank you. That was fortuitous for me. There was actually someone here that was new. And now, even though we're a small group, let's take just a minute or two and greet each other. Give each other some hugs if appropriate. Always ask. Say hi to
But I got
All right. Shall we return to our seats? No, we don't want to. Now you can't misbehave just because Jeannie's gone.
Janine.
All right, we'd like to have our opening prayer. Reverend Julia Norton is going to give us our opening prayer.
Thank you. Good morning. Go into your heart space and know the truth is from there that we love everyone. We share our love and our light. And we listen to the words today and the songs today, and they go within. And we know that's the truth. And we learn from every person that we meet. And as we hold hands collectively with the rest of the world, we know there's peace. We know there's love. And we know there's light. And that light brings us all together as we are one in our hearts, in our minds, and our souls. As we go forth this week and every week, we share our love and our light with everyone that we meet. And everyone that's even around the world, because we know we're all one. And so it is.
And now for our daily word, we'll have Dennis here.
licensed Unity teacher.
Yeah.
I knew I could do it.
So did we.
It only took 5.5 years.
It's all right.
Short time. Sunday, November 6th, we're going to talk about balance. I honor life's shifting rhythms. Sometimes trying to balance my schedule, beat my obligations, and even find time for things I enjoy can leave me scrambling to figure out how to fit it all in. Today I take my cue from nature and notice the rhythm of the seasons and the tides, the cycle of growth, and the order that underlines all things. I appreciate how seamlessly the natural world balances itself and restores itself to harmony. This gift of harmony and balance lives in me. I honor myself when I flow with it instead of forcing my will upon it. I listen to my body's many signals. I rest when I'm tired, eat when I'm hungry, and socialize and seek solitude as I need to. As I care for myself, I find balance. Ecclesiastes 8:15 reads, "For there is nothing better for people under the sun than to eat and drink and enjoy themselves."
I like to keep the
Story of my life. And now a song leading into meditation. Diana will do for us, and then the meditation will be led by Amy McLaughlin. And just a reminder that after the song, no applause, we just quietly move into meditation, please.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers and toils and snares, we have already come. Was grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will bring us home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, oh, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
The meditation today is going to be based on the premise of when we refuse to change, we actually make a choice. So if we could all please get in that beautiful space, pulling in the light from the heavens, the light rod through our body, extending into the earth, the cords of our being, sending the love from Mother Earth up into our heart center. Feel that for a moment. And I would like to address that we all have an imaginary, invisible backpack on. We make a choice of what is allowed to go in that backpack. That backpack can be filled with love. All the people who love you, all the love in the universe, the love of this beautiful community, the love of your family. We need to have courage. We are asking for courage to keep things positive. Sometimes when we help, maybe a bit too much, it can make our load a bit heavy to carry. Our God, our source, wants each and every one of us to thrive. So if you noticed your load has been heavy, pray that you can move out of the way and let the divine touch your soul and help you to carry only what is needed. Love is the way. And if we have that backpack mainly filled with love, we will be able to move in peace and freedom. And so it is.
Thank you, Amy. Now I'd like for you to join me in the Lord's Prayer. We'll recite together. Heavenly Source, Thou who art everywhere, hallowed be Thy name or Thy vibration. Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done, here, now, and forevermore. Fill us with the power of Thy mercy, and free us from the fetters with which we bind each other. Lead us out of temptation, free us from ourselves, and give us the strength to be at one with Thee. Teach us the true power of forgiveness. May this holy moment be the ground from which our future actions grow. Amen. And now we'll have our lesson from Odey Von Nostitz.
Outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. We have a beautiful feeling, 'cause everything's going our way, because we choose it to be. Good morning, church.
Good morning.
I am feeling very humble this morning. When Reverend Jeannie asked me to be the guest speaker today, I said, "You're kidding." And my first response was, "Oh, I don't think." And then I go, "Of course you can. You got this. Say yes." So I asked her, I said, "May I choose my own subject matter?" And she said, "Yes." So I chose one of my favorite subjects, which is change And I don't mean going to Starbucks, giving them a $10 bill for a cup of coffee and getting a penny in change. I am talking about changes in our life and how we deal with them. Change is positive. Change is necessary. Change is inevitable. Now, over the years, I have asked a number of people in my former church in California, can you give me a one-word definition for life? And they'd say, one word? You want me to define life in one word? And I said, yeah, just think about it. And I've received a lot of different answers. The two most that I have received is love and God. Outstanding answers. But nobody has ever given my answer. My one-word definition for life is change, because it is constant. Now, some changes are absolutely wonderful. You get a raise at work. Yeehaw! You're driving on the freeway and there's no traffic. Whoa, is that a change?
That's a miracle.
You lose that last 5 pounds or you win the lottery. These are wonderful changes that we embrace. But not all changes are so great. Some are very tragic. Some are very sad. And some are very sudden and unexpected. If we lose loved ones, or we lose a job, we lose our home. Some changes can...
Sorry.
Whoa, yeah, there was a change. Unexpected. Some changes can be so frightening. Even as small as an upsetting, you're late for an appointment, you go out to get in your car and you have a flat tire. You would think the world has come to an end. Huh? When those kind of things happen to me, I always say, 1,000 years from now, who's going to give a darn? We tend to be creatures of habit, and the smallest change can be upsetting. I have witnessed when I performed at senior resident places, people get so upset they get into actual arguments because somebody sat in their seat. They sit in the same seat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for all their entertainment, for all their activities. And it really, really upsets them. They can't move to the one next to them. And I've noticed that even here in church. We tend to sit on the same side every week. Those who sit in the back tend to sit in the back, those who sit in the front. There's never any alteration there. Every second, there is a multitude of changes taking place on our planet. So how is it that something that is so constant can be so frightening? We become anxious and fearful when we are put out of our comfort zone. We all have our comfort zone, that little square block that we stand in the middle of. And if we stick our big toe out of it, it makes us so nervous. But remaining in your comfort zone, is that really living? Or is that merely existing in this life? And part of our problem is that word, F-E-A-R. What is fear? Fear is born out of the uncertainty of what comes next. But really, fear is only a thought. Change the thought, and you instantly change the feeling. And I'd like to share with you a story of how I prove that to myself. I was performing for a luncheon at an independent senior resident place. And while I was setting up my music equipment, I fell over my amplifier and I ripped open my right leg from the shin, almost from the knee down to the ankle. And the blood was pouring out. Now, I already had a couple of people sitting, my audience were already there. So they helped me down the corridor to the nurse's station. And she very gently and lovingly patched me up with tweezers, pulling one piece of skin at a time to try and cover the wound. ouch. And the director came in, she goes, Odey, is there somebody I can call to come and pick you up and we will take down your equipment for you? I said, wait a minute. You hired me to perform. What is performing? It is giving people in your audience that one moment in time where they can forget all their troubles, all their aches and pains, everything negative going on in their life. That is the job, to me, that is the job of a performer. And I said to her, the show must go on. I am going to sing. And she said, really? I said, yes. When I said, I was raised from a tiny little girl that the show must go on because I come from a long line of show business people. However, that also means for each and every one of us in our everyday lives, the show must go on. If you commit, I'm going to help you Saturday move. Saturday morning comes because you had a rough night, Friday night, oh, I don't feel like it. No. The show must go on. Life must go on. So they helped me back into the dining room. They had an upright piano, and I leaned against the piano with one leg up. I looked like a flamingo. And I started singing. Got through my first song. The pain was excruciating, I want you to know. I got through my first song. I got through my second song. By the end of my second song, I was totally pain-free. And I shared that with my audience. And I said to them, as I'm going to say to you, I'm going to tell you why I am pain-free. Because my job here was to entertain you. Therefore, 100% of my focus, 100% of my thought is on all of you. There is no room for that thought of pain to enter. And that is why I don't feel it anymore. And I finished my show. I was even able to take down my own equipment. I drove home. I did have to take my shoe off because my foot was swollen. But yes, the show must go on. So how do we embrace change, all change? The positive and the negative that happens. I say, remember this. Everything that happens in our lives is for our higher good, even when we can't see it at that moment. Many times in my life, I have been devastated with things that have happened. And years later, I am doing something that makes me so happy, and I think, oh my gosh, if this hadn't happened to me back here, I wouldn't be doing this today. So embrace. Don't feel the sadness. Embrace, because you know there's a good reason why it happened. Sometimes we find out, sometimes we don't. Ernest Holmes writes, I love this, by the way, so I'm going to repeat it. Man's conscious thought, acting through law, may change any condition in his experience, provided he can clearly conceive of such condition being changed. Man's conscious thought, acting through law, may change any condition in his experience, provided he can clearly conceive of such condition being changed. What does that mean? Believe it. Feel it. Know it. Don't hope. Hope enters a bit of negativity. Hope is a gambling word. It may not. But I know. No gambling in that one. Now, some things we simply have no control over because it revolves around other people. We can only change ourselves. We cannot change another person. So when that happens, we need this word called acceptance. Sometimes not so easy. Acceptance means events can make it through you without resistance. So don't be afraid to expand yourself by stepping out of your comfort zone, because that is where the joy and the adventure lies. Start with baby steps and see how wonderful, magical things can happen. Perhaps next Sunday, those of you that always sit on this side might try sitting on this side. Just see how it feels. No, Dennis says.
No.
Stepping out of our comfort zone is kind of like playing a game of Risk. It feels like Risk. It feels like we're playing without a net. But when you make a commitment, you are never without a net because God is your safety net, always. When I decided to follow in my father's footsteps as a police officer in San Francisco, at first the thought frightened me. I really wanted it, but the thought frightened me, and I went to my grandmother, the original Odey. She was a superstar in vaudeville, and her stage name was Odey Lamar, hence my name. And she was a young grandmother. And I told her about what I want to do, but it was kind of frightening. And she said to me, remember, Odey, whatever you choose to do, God is your partner 24/7. You are his child. You are part of him. And so is every person you encounter, even those who have temporarily lost their way. I knew she was right. But you see, at the time, we had no police work. Well, we had 6, and they all worked juvenile, so I couldn't even take a test to become one. But I had committed that this is what I wanted to do. So then I had to have patience. Commitment needs patience. I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. I became an international ballroom dance teacher while I waited. I had to keep moving, don't you know? Makes the time go by faster. I waited 10 years. 10 years. And the city finally had a test where women and men competed equally. Choosing a career where you have no idea what's going to happen from one second to another is definitely the epitome of stepping out of one's comfort zone. I am so grateful that I chose that career because with God's help, we saved a number of lives. One time, and this comes to really how much do we trust in God. I heard a crash about a block ahead of me. I was a motorcycle cop. And I was riding up to it, and I saw that this car had smashed and wrapped itself around a cement light pole. There was smoke coming out from under the hood. I called in for the fire department and ambulance, and I got there, and there was a young woman who was passed out at the wheel. She had hit her head on the steering wheel, and she had an infant in the front seat. This was the days before they changed the law. I opened the door and I practically threw the baby to people that were gathered around this woman that was standing there. Threw out the infant seat, and I'm trying to pull out the mom. I tried as hard as I could. It seemed like forever, and I couldn't budge her. Her left ankle was trapped around the bar that moves your car seat up and back, you know. And she was unconscious, and I simply couldn't move her. Now there's flames coming out from under the hood. And I thought, I've done the best I can. I can't get her out. I heard the sirens coming. Surely they'll be there in time. But if I stay in this car, I might die with her. And at that moment, I looked up and I saw the baby. And I said, oh, God, forgive me. I know I know you're not going to let this baby be raised without her mother. And all of a sudden, I turned into the Hulk. I had like 10 times this normal strength that I have, and I was able to bend that bar. And I dragged her out of that car as the first fire engine arrived. Now, it was so surreal, it seemed like a movie, like it was seconds and the car exploded like you'd see on TV. Well, it wasn't like that. It was a little longer than that. But yeah, and mom and baby were fine. Ernest Holmes writes, let us look toward the high good of lasting attainment, fearless and happy. Let us live in the present, looking neither backward in sorrow, nor forward in apprehension, but looking into the present with joy and abiding faith. If we live our authentic self, change in our life is a piece of cake. While I was going through some papers, I was researching what I was going to talk about today. I found a poem that I had written when I was taking my practitioner classes and we were on a retreat. And our assignment was to solemnly walk through this forest and observe what we saw, what we felt, and write a few words about our authentic self. And I'd love to share it with you today because it was years ago. My authentic self. I walked in the shade of tall pine trees with the sun filtering through. An owl I heard calling to me. Who are you? I am the one who shares your feathers and the pine needles falling from above. I am love. I am the drop in your water and the ray in your sun. My voice carries through your wind to your ears in harmony. For I am love, you see. I am love. So I want to change the subject for a little moment, a little side note. This is November, Thanksgiving, and I am sure that, like me, none of you just give thanks and are grateful one day a year, right?
Right.
Every day. So this year I thought, I'm going to do a little reversal. I mean, I am left-handed, you know. So I thought, I'm going to take Thanksgiving literally. Thanksgiving. I am thankful for giving. Be thankful for giving as well as receiving, for the opportunity to give. And it doesn't matter how large or how small. I had a gentleman one time that said to me, "Oh, Odey, I wish I could give, but my health is so poor and my finances are so bad, I simply can't." And I said to him, "But you just gave to me." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You just gave me the most beautiful smile." I said, "Do you realize what a gift a smile is? If you're having a really bad day and somebody smiles at you, it lifts your spirits. And perhaps it can change your entire day. And if you're already having a spectacular day, woo, it just puts you over the top. It makes you feel happier. When somebody smiles at me, I feel all warm and cozy and a bit of happiness. So I'd like us to do an affirmation. Please, Dennis. We'll put the words up on the screen. Please read with me. I give thanks for my courage to try new things and to let my routines be broken. I have confidence that God's got this and me. So in conclusion, remember who your authentic self really is, and the changes in your life will be a cakewalk. And remember to smile, because when you're smiling, sing with me, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, oh, that sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, oh, you bring on the rain. So stop your sighing and be happy again. So keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you and 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 me too. Thank you.
It's a shame she's so shy. And now we're going to have our song from Diana, another song for us. And then after that will be our offering time, which we'll talk about. Whoa. A little change, unexpected.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, and that was lovely. I love that. Thank you so much. We can all learn from so much, and I truly believe that smiling to people is just wonderful. It's just a gift you give people, and it does make you so happy. Every time someone smiles at me, it just lights my day up. It's true, yeah. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need, and I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is love, sing with me. God is power, God gives me everything I need, and I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is joy, God is power, God gives me everything I need, and I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Peace, God is peace, God is power, God gives me everything I need, and I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love, 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 love. Ooh, love, 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 love. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need, and I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Thank you.
This is the time that we do accept our contributions, our donations, our tithes to the church, and with joyful hearts we give. And there's a basket over there for anyone who wants to make that, or you can do it online. However, whatever is just the most convenient for you. So let us do our offering, prayer, whatever.
Blessing.
Ellen, anytime. Our offering blessing. Please join with me. Divine love,
As me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. I am so blessed. Thank you, God.
Would you like the song I Am So Blessed?
Sure, that would be wonderful.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed.
substance of the universe. I give thanks that 10 times as much or more is now on its way to me and quickly manifests in perfect ways. Right. Our announcements now, if we have any for this week. Our prayer proctor today is blank.
Barbara?
Barbara Kelly. Great. Barbara's is all good, but Barbara Kelly. There are sign-up sheets back on the board, lots of them. They are for helping, volunteering for positions, and also for the potlucks that we're coming up with in November and December. Hopefully you all know the dates of that, because I don't off the top of my head.
I do.
Okay, what are they, Barbara?
November 20th at 1 p.m. and December 17th at 4 at Kate and
Maria. Wow, I'm impressed. And what's the date? November 20th after the service, and December 17th at 4 p.m.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hey, good attempt. A for effort. E for effort, whatever that is. Explorers report, Betty. I know that we're going to the Heard Museum.
Can I have the microphone?
Well, I don't know. This is a tricky microphone.
Thank you.
You're the tricky one.
This Friday, the 11th, this Friday coming up, is the day that we're going to the Heard Museum. And I don't know if people got the letter that I sent, because I said, please let me know if you still plan to go, and I haven't heard from anyone. So you got to read your email. That's the only way I have to contact you. So we are leaving the parking lot out here at 9:30. The museum opens at 10. The first tour is at 10:30. So if we don't get there for the first tour, we have to wait until noon, and at that time we'll probably be eating lunch. So, and if your name if you haven't been here and your name is not on the list, put your name on that list and I will send you the letter with the directions. So I think everybody knows by now that you can get 2 free admissions if you have a library card and you go down to the library on Riggs and sign up. They will give you a paper that will give you 2 people free admission. Otherwise, it's $17 for seniors, $23 for those of you who are younger.
Eddie, So, I just want to let everybody know that I'd personally like to know how many people here are coming.
I have
Do you have
7 on my list.
Okay, but I went, and Maria's coming too, right?
Yeah.
And Kay?
I think.
Okay, so I went down to that library, and I just want to let people know, because we're into abundance, that you get this sheet
Flyer. Yeah.
from them, and you can get in free to a lot of places.
16
And you have to do it within 2 weeks. Just so you know, there's a lot, 1 week.
1 week.
Oh, sorry, God.
So get it this week, if you haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, so it's totally free then, and are we carpooling?
Yes, I'm sure
Of
we will.
course.
And I'm sure I'll be
We're
driving.
not going to walk.
Because Maria always offers me to drive. But seriously, I just went down yesterday. Betty's right and Barbara's right. Very lovely people at that library. I'm so excited that I finally have my library card after 2 years. And they've just got this wall, and you pick out which one you want. You can do 2 a month, 2 different outings a month, and it's 2 free admissions to 16 different museums and places.
Wow.
And so that's a really great deal.
Some are even in Tucson.
Yeah, some are all the way to Tucson. And well, it's part of the exchange or whatever it's called, the network. So, I mean, it's amazing what they have at a library now. It ain't like when I was a kid, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
They had books when you were a kid.
Yeah. No, scrolls. Are you going to do a one-woman show here? Is that what you're aiming for, Bert?
I have in the past.
I believe that. Anyway, so that's Explorers. This coming Friday. If you've not let Betty know that you're going, please do
Please let
so.
me know one way or the other.
Yes.
We don't want to go off without anybody who wants to go, but
Right.
you have to let me know who to expect.
You know, the lady at the library did say to me, we might be, well, you maybe already did this. Did you call to see if we have to have an appointment for the tour? Because during COVID, they
No,
were doing
this is
that.
a public tour.
Okay.
So you don't have to have an appointment. If you want a private tour, you have to pay for it.
Okay.
I figure the public tour is fine.
Yes, I heard it was wonderful. Okay, Matthews Crossing donations are being picked up today. The box for monetary ones are on the counter over there by the door, closer to the door.
I left my check on this table near ours, so.
That's all right, it'll get
Ellen
there.
It'll get there.
Ellen
It'll get
always
there.
comes.
Yeah. Well, Ellen couldn't come today because Mary is under the weather. So you can always give it to Julia. She'll make sure that that it gets to the right place. So no worries there. And there is a box outside as always on those days. Any other announcements? Of course, y'all know our show. Yes, Sun Lakes Community Theater show starts Tuesday night. We have a matinee on Saturday. It really is a funny show. I'm so happy to be able to tell you that. I know you are. I saw that. Let me tell you something. You talk about changes and embracing change. Just to give you an idea, first of all, our director had emergency major theater surgery the first week of rehearsals. Was out. You can turn this off. I have to listen to all this. And then we lost one of our cast members and had to be replaced because she had health problems. And then 2 weeks before opening, 2 weeks, that's like 2 weeks from day after tomorrow. 2 weeks ago, we had to replace another cast member.
No.
Goodness.
But through all of that, it's a hilarious good show. I am so pleased to tell you that it is really, really funny.
Yes, it is.
And I promise it will not be offensive, too bad, much. And I will share with you that the Baptist Church, the Second Baptist Church, took our sign down because it was close to their sign and they were offended.
Oh, no.
Yes, and I understand that, I do. Somebody's driving up to their church, says, Second Baptist Church, sex for 60, what? What? How does that go together again?
Now I want to go.
Yeah, it probably increased their attendance, but All right, let's. Our prayer team is meeting on Wednesday. The Reiki Share group every Tuesday at 9:30. You can see Betty about that. Our musician next week is Dennis, our own Dennis Stewart. Yay! And I just want to say thank you again for everybody that attended today. Thanks for putting up with me. Thank you, Odey, for the wonderful message. And thank you to Amy and Dennis for all of the work they do getting everything done, and Diana for sharing your musical talents. And I believe and Julia, of course, always Julia for all that she does. Reverend Julia, we couldn't get along without her. And again, next week is a board member. Board meeting, if you have something you want to share with the board, if you're shy about it, write it down. Give it to us. Attend. Everyone is always welcome to the meetings. And I will be speaking with you after the service. So thank you all for coming, and I believe we're going to sing out, yes, with our peace song. Please stand.
Stand up.